welcome back to Whiskey and Whit. I'm Whitney and today's video is day 6, halfway through the 12 days of Christmas here on my channel. Today's video is going to be some different ways that you can use wood rounds for ornaments. So I've seen these all over Pinterest and I wanted to try out some different DIYs to see if they worked, if they didn't work. Let me tell you, some worked really well, some were duds. So I'm excited to share those with you today so you don't have to go through the hassle of trying those. So let's get started.
First, let's start with supplies. These are the wood pieces that I used. I got them at Hobby Lobby and they're in one of the supply aisles around the outside of the store. They were only $4.49. I saw this on my friend's Her Happy Home Instagram. I will link hers down below, but you can use your 40% off coupon on this as well. So it makes them super cheap and I made everything in this video with just this one bag. So first up is this adorable snowman, and he's actually pretty big. So I really love how he turned out. I love that I was able to freehand this and it still looks really whimsy. So we started with some Waverly chalk paint and I picked out 3 of the wood slices that were similarly sized. And I say that because they're kind of a hodgepodge of sizes. And so you want to go through and make sure that you have 3 that look about the same size. Then I took my paint with just a foam brush, as you can see here, and did like a kind of circular swooshing around the outside to make sure that the edges didn't look too perfect, but they still looked done. And then I did the same thing on the back of the wood pieces. Once those dried, I grabbed my drill and drilled holes. So the top piece, which is the head of the snowman, you're going to have a hole at basically 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Same for the middle one. And then you're going to have one hole at 12 o'clock for the bottom piece of the snowman. So then I took some Dollar Tree jute twine and strung it through the 2 holes. And then I went through and did a triple knot. You want to make sure that you know what front you want to be on your ornament. You want the knot to be on the back, so just keep that in mind as you're tying. You want to tie it on the back. So then once those are all hooked together, then I went through with just some baker's twine. I got this from the Target Dollar Spot a few years ago, but you can get it anywhere, Dollar Tree, anywhere. And I went through and tied that so I had a hanger. I added a cut piece of a Dollar Tree scarf, but you can use any fabric that you want to give him a little scarf. And then I freehanded his face. So I just went on Pinterest, found a picture of a snowman that I thought was cute, and I went through and recreated it. I just used a black and orange Sharpie to make that happen. You can use paint. You could cut out decals if you have a Cricut. You could do this a lot of different ways, but I just thought, quick and easy, I'm gonna do it with Sharpies because I already had those on hand. Because he's so big, I'm gonna leave him here on my Christmas card holder just to give it a little bit of a festive touch, and so easy to make. And also this would make a really good statement piece on a tree. Up next is this traditional Merry and Bright, and this is originally where I got the idea to do the wood ornaments. So over at Amanda's page, I will link her down below, she did some with a black background, so I wanted to try red. So I went through with my Crimson Waverly chalk paint, did the same process that I did with the white paint for the snowman, covered the front, did the same thing on the back once the front dried, so I had 2 covered sides. And then I just used my Cricut to cut out this kind of hand calligraphy PNG file. I will link this down below if you want to use it. And then I didn't have to freehand any of that. You could totally freehand it. You could have your kids draw on there, whatever you want. And then I went through and gave it a hole just like I did with the other ones, tied some Dollar Tree jute twine, and that was it. I've seen people do Christmas vacation ones of these, a lot of, sentimental ones with years and things, so you could really do anything. The sky's the limit. You could also decorate a whole tree if you got a couple bags of these wood ornaments. It wouldn't take that long. Up next is a paper transfer ornament. And so this is what I printed out. I printed out circles of pictures. And as you can see, everything is backwards. So you'll find out in a minute why I did that. So this one was half great, half dud. So let's start with showing you how I cropped the pictures, just so you know if you don't. So I went through, this is just Word. I put my image in and I went to crop, and crop is a shape. I picked a basic shape, which defaults to kind of an oblong situation if you're working with not a square picture. So then what I wanted to do was rearrange the size of the cropping. So I just took that little black line at the top and drug it down so that I had a more symmetrical circle. And then once I did that, I just drug the picture down so that Sebastian and I fit within the circle. Once that's cropped, you can go up to the right-hand side. This is under the picture format tab, and you can put your width. So most of mine were 2.5 inches, but you can measure yours so then that way it prints out the right way. The last step you're going to want to do, especially if you have any type of text on there, is to flip it horizontally, which was under rotate. And then that way your picture is going to appear the way that you want it to instead of backwards. So the first thing I did was that Oh Holy Night one that I showed you. So I put some Mod Podge down. After I cut it out, I took the Oh Holy Night piece, put it down, face down, as you're noticing here, and then I sealed the edges and then put a full coat of Mod Podge over the top of it and let that dry overnight. Once it dried overnight, give or take 12-15 hours, I took a rag with some warm water, put it over the top, followed the instructions like I was supposed to, and then I went through to rub things off. I was so excited for these because I thought the sky's the limit with this option. Now with this particular one that was not a photo, it worked a lot better than the photo, which is a little foreboding of what's gonna come next. But I went through, you wanna make sure that your paper is wet before you start scrubbing. You wanna go gently in circular motions, and it should leave the ink like it did there. So I think that one turned out okay. And then because it was still a little light, I grabbed an Oh Holy Night little decal and put that on there so that you kind of knew what song was behind it. I drilled a hole, added some baker's twine, and that's how that one was finished. So up close here, I love how you can kind of see the sheet music around the outside. I will leave the printable down below for you too as well, where I got that. So now let's talk about the pictures. This I was so excited about, especially because we had so many memories this year finding out we were expecting. I had so many pictures that I wanted to turn into these ornaments, and I tried one just to make sure I wasn't like just going crazy wasting like all that, and this one of Sebastian just didn't work. So I don't know if that was operator error or what, but I'm just going to focus on the fact that I have a bunch of other cute wood projects that I did for these ornaments, and I'm going to keep trying those pictures. And follow me over on Instagram. I will share an update over there for you as to if I'm able to figure out how that works. And I'll come back and let you know. But for right now, I struggled with that. These other ones worked out just fine, and I love them.
Thank you so much for watching today. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the 12 days of Christmas, and hit subscribe down below so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Whit video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!